Hey guys, welcome to a gorgeous Saskatchewan day. Sometimes we get these days, it's December 3rd and it's like +1, totally hoodie weather. Anyways, we got FullPull pretty much done and I thought, you know, it's such a gorgeous day, let's pull her out on the lake here. It's a beautiful freaking lake where we got a few tracks from FullPull and just a bunch of freaking deer tracks all over the place. But anyways, we're gonna go over, we're pretty much done the build, hooray! Now we just get to ride it and freaking enjoy it. So anyways, we're gonna start right up front here. We went with a Can-Am Rad Relocate for the Renegades. Basically, it clamps onto your factory XMR bumper. The good thing about the Can-Am Factory Relocate is it comes all with, I'm not sure if you can see that very good, it comes all with pre-bent hoses. Everything fits really great. It's a bit of engineering goes into it. They just don't release a kit, you know. They got to get everything just right, just fitting right. So it was actually a fairly easy install. Up front here, you see RJWC Neutrino LED lights. These things are crazy. When he first sent it to me, I was a little skeptical. He said, "You're not going to need a light bar," and I put them on, and holy smokes, they are bright as heck. He wasn't lying. No light bar needed is right. We replaced the 3,000-pound Pro Vantage, Warren Pro Vantage. We replaced it with a 3500 S. So basically S, just synthetic rope with a VRX. And the biggest reason for that is the VRX and the Axon, their brand new series of power sport winches, comes with a brand new free spool handle. This is out of their locking hub technology. You know, with the old Pro Vantage and the winches before that, they had a certain free spool handle that you could pack crap in behind it and it would end up skipping over the little pegs and you'd basically be kind of without. It was easy to take apart and clean and put back together and get it working, but out in the field it was a bit of a pain. So this thing is way better sealed. Like they've had like 60 some years of this locking hub technology, and that's what they used for the free spool handle. So we tried to fit an Axon in, but Axon is just a little bit more blocky and there just isn't enough room. You see our clearances are pretty tight even for the VRX. And the good thing about the VRX is it uses the exact same wiring. So basically you unbolt your old winch, slide in the new winch, same wires, same solenoid, everything is the same. So it's super easy to put in. Here's a good shot of the Can-Am Apache Backcountry Trax. These things are a full 2-inch lug. The rear track, the rails are out of a 137 snowmobile, 137-inch snowmobile. So on the LT tracks on the side-by-sides, those rails are out of a 146. So you get a good side shot angle here. You see your freaking footprint with a 2-inch lug. We ran these on Yeti. We ran them on that XDS last year, Mrs. Osta, on the X3, and they work freaking exceptional. Better than any other track on the market. Like not even a little bit, but head and shoulders above for deep snow riding. We're using a Warren Epic Haas Fair lead and a Warren Epic hook. That hook has seen a lot of use already. She was a tough year in the Skeg this year, boys. Holy, did we get stuck a pile. FullPull didn't care. Winch out, keep on going. Of course, in the summer, I'll throw up a couple little clips. We ran 34-inch Assassinators on some MSA beadlock rims, M31s. Beautiful combo. We got the powder coating done by Thrill Billy Powder Coating Lethbridge. He did such a good job. He did a lot of this powder coating. He did the rad insert cutout. The rear bumper we got done in North Battleford. Anyways, our good buddy Birch built this rear bumper from nothing. Like literally started with masking tape, got a shape in mind, sent it to me. We made a couple adjustments and this is how it turned out. It follows the body line so freaking good. So basically there's this one in existence and he just built one for himself. So there's 2 in existence right now. And believe me guys, I'm working on them. Like let's get a pile of these made because they are that good. It's the perfect handle when you're stuck. He's got this big enough you can fit a 10-liter jerry can. And then we're trying to adapt some link brackets so we can run all the link accessories. You can run a 20-liter jerry can. You can run the full link toolbox back here. So we're gonna try to adapt that so we can use this a lot more versatile for the winter, especially the winter. When you're running tracks, you blow through a lot more fuel. So it's good to have a lot of extra fuel. Along with that, he built these floorboards. These are frickin', again, custom-made floorboards. You save 2 inches up front and 1 inch in the rear. So you gain 3 inches of clearance. And like heavy duty built, Line-X'd, dimple dyed, so you can, all the crap can fall out when you're washing, all the junk can fall out. Like, when the guy does work, he does exceptional work. And speaking of Birch, he almost put together all of FullPull. Like, he put on the exhaust, he did the wrap. The wrap we got done by, we created the wrap basically with just Can-Am and fin trail as the background, just a million Can-Am and fin trails in there, kind of as a breakup background. And then we got all the sponsor names in gold. It turned out really great. Pat Holmes with Pro Touch Engraving in Saskatoon. He does like over the moon work. He uses quality 3M stuff. We've ran his stuff now for years. Sticks, it doesn't matter. You could beat the heck out of it. After 2 or 3 years, you could pull that wrap off and the plastics would be brand new underneath. But anyways, Birch installed that. He did the riser, he installed the exhaust, he did the clutches, he did the headlights. Like, he did so much work on FullPull. I am over the moon happy. Under the clutch cover, we're running 3P STM clutches. We've ran those in the last few builds. We have yet to even touch or think about rebuilding a set of his clutches. We ran them on Big Blue for 3 solid years, boys. Nothing but take it apart, take the clutch cover off every once in a while and blow out the dust. That's all we've had to do. He sets them up, Russell Coker, get with him, he sets them up, bolt them on, and frickin' never worry about having belt issues again. We used to run clutch kits with stock clutches before aftermarket primary and secondaries, and we would get 400 miles almost to the mile out of stock belts. So we got in the habit of changing them at 350 just so we didn't have to change them in the frickin' bush in the skeg. Change them in the garage, good to go. Now, like after 3 years, I took the belt out of Big Blue, running 34s with a 6-inch lift on nitrous, and the belt was still great. I changed it just because I thought it was time. After 3 years of ripping, so belt issues no longer a problem. Coming back here, you get a really good shot of the RJWC center duals for the XMRs, powder coated by Craig at Thrillbilly. Like, the guy does such good work, takes everything apart. His attention to detail is off the hook. That gold, it turned out so freaking sweet. It matches the beadlock rims really great. Of course, we don't got the tires on right now, but we got our Tiger Tail. Of course, we never leave the garage without our Tiger Tail. We've been using them for years also. It's one of the most useful things on the machine. I pull out several, I don't know, in the last how many years, several thousand people I think I've pulled out. I've yet to break one. I've yet for one to quit working. Like, they're just over the moon reliable. They're quick, they're easy. Here's a good shot of the nitrous. This is the Nitrous Bottle. This is a system from Colton at Full Throttle Power Sports in Winnipeg. He sets up systems. He can do a dry shot, he can do a wet shot. We're running a wet shot. We find it a little bit more forgiving. So basically, you run your nitrous in there, and there's a separate fuel pump that you tee into your fuel line that when you hit the, so basically you turn your solenoid switch on, turn your bottle on, turn your solenoid switch on, and then here's your happy button right there. Psh, psh, psh. So when you push the button, it injects nitrous and fuel in at the same time, so you don't lean your motor out. So that's why I find it's a teeny bit more forgiving. Our good buddy Blackie at Extreme ATV Off-Road, he installed the whole system. You really have to know what you're doing installing nitrous system, because the jet has to go just in the exact right location, so it's spraying properly. That's into the throttle body. So he was gonna plumb it into the air box. It didn't really work out, so we did it into the throttle body. So you really gotta know what you're doing when you're plumbing in nitrous. So thanks a lot to Blackie for doing that. He's done, he did Big Blue too, and he's done, I don't know how many other ones. Tons on all his bikes and a lot of his buddies' bikes. He's done a lot of installs, so he knows what the heck he's doing. We got a seat cover from him also, from Extreme ATV Off-Road. He's got a company local, he lives in a little town. A lady there sews all these seat covers. She can put whatever you want, use whatever material you want. This is a gripper material, really strong, heavyweight material. And like I said, you can get anything you want embroidered in there. We got FullPull embroidered in there. You could get Can-Am, you could get whatever you want on there. Our billet gas cap, still from DVNT Off-Road. He cuts all these, cuts these knuckle shifters. We got like 100 of these knuckle shifters coming. We're gonna be selling those on our website. ostacruiser.com, boys. Sweet merch like this. We got knuckle shifters. I ordered 800 meters of synthetic rope, so that's all gonna be on the website soon. So check it out. Coming up top here, we got hand thumb warmers, the BRP hand thumb warmers, and now the kit comes with this extra plate. You know, before this housing was kind of cheap and it would crack, and so we would make our own plates, and now the kit comes with this extra reinforcement plate. So never an issue. They're super solid, they work super great. Keep your hands frickin' warm on spring and fall and now winter rides. And then we run a 2-inch rocks riser, handlebar riser. If you've ridden a machine with a riser, it's like one of those things you cannot go back to riding a machine without one now. It's so much more comfortable, especially when you got to stand up. It just gives you that extra height, gives you a little bit more clearance for your shifter. Not that you need it with this shifter, but some of the shifters are a little bigger. You run into little clearance issues. So it gets rid of that, but it's just way more comfortable riding with a riser. Stock XMR snorkel. So we stuck with the snorkel. We didn't go really tall because we found over the years, when you're in really, really deep water, you hop off your machine usually gets to about here and it floats anyways. So you should be in the safe zone there as long as you hop off in time, because with you on it, it's gonna sink down and the water's gonna go up here and you're gonna drown your quad. But as long as you can hop off, your machine's gonna float and you'll be okay. So we haven't, knock on wood, there's no wood out here, so knock on my head, we haven't swamped a machine in 13 years, boys. And we used to ride the most ridiculous deep water all the time. So much so we haven't rode it in the last few years that we rode a little bit this year and I was like, man, do I miss this? It's just something else going through deep water, you know, 3, 4, 5 foot deep water. It's insane. So with the Trax, we are running a little over 20 inches of ground clearance. It's almost exactly the same as running a 6-inch lift with 34-inch tires. When I had Big Blue on that lift, Catvos lift with the 34s, I parked Yeti beside it and they were the exact same height. So these Trax lift you up that much. And that's basically just all in the frame design, how the frame comes up and the sprocket's up there. So it gives you this insane amount of clearance. So that's another reason why they work so dang good. You just got so much clearance. So top speed on these Trax, we're gonna find out today, boys. Today is the freaking day. I don't know 100%. I'm thinking over 55 miles per hour, but I don't know. We're gonna go until we redline in high. If we can't get to redline, we're gonna spray nitrous till we hit redline. So we'll have the absolute top speed we can get on these Trax. Here's a good shot of the anti-rotation brackets for these backcountry Trax. They are super beefy. Back here, back to your rear frame. Another thing I forgot to mention is, if you guys remember when we took Yeti to the mountains, we went up early in the morning and it was really cold and the trail was frozen. There was no snow flipping around and we overheated our sliders. So we ended up running a tree up front to kind of spray some snow and that helped. But this year, Can-Am has these idler wheel accessories. So I threw 2 kits on each track and that just takes a lot of the pressure off these sliders. So a guy's never gonna have issues in low snow now. So just, you know, something that weighs a couple pounds and now you're never gonna have any issues. If you have to, say you gotta drive on a trail that doesn't got a lot of snow till you get to the good snow, get a couple sets of these bogey wheels, throw them in there and never have to worry about melting your sliders like we did. It was just enough where it didn't damage anything, but we definitely heated them up. The front already comes with them. We didn't do anything with the front. It already comes with those bogey wheels. So it was just the rears we had to worry about. But anyways, yeah, that's available. Easy to bolt on and takes away any headache of low snow worries. So, oh yeah, come around back. I didn't mention the Neutrino LED tail lights. Those are just a new addition. We just got those in about a month and a half ago. Super freaking bright. Those are just basically the park lights. When you hit the brake lights, this whole thing lights up. And on the European models, this outside light is actually the signal light. So on North American models, no signal lights. So we'll put the brakes on, then you can see, even in the broad daylight, look at how freaking bright they are. They work good. No one should be smashing into the ass of you with those. Here's a really good shot of the wrap. Everything just fit like a glove. He's got a really great template. And like I said, he can design anything you want. Or he has pre-designed wraps that are a lot more cost effective. A lot of the cost of a wrap, of a custom wrap, is just the design time. So if you can pick something out that he already has designed, it's super cost effective. It's still the exact same material, the 3M material that holds up like crazy. It just is a lot more cost effective. When a guy's got to spend a few hours designing something from scratch, it costs a bit more. But then you get a wrap like no one else has. So there's pros and cons. So out back for 2019, they changed the rear diffs to a straight cut gear set. So right now we're gonna run it, but you better believe we We sent it to Jarrett at Mud and Wheels. We took the diff out, we sent it, he opened it up, went through it, set the preload and backlash exactly perfect like he does. He's a frickin' guru of rear diffs. So he's got her set up right. So we're gonna run that, see how she works out. Now that it's set up 100% perfect, he said it was actually pretty dang close. So maybe finally Can-Am has got their 19s and 20s set up right. You hear less and less of diffs failing, so that's an awesome thing. So, but if we ever have issues, we'll be phoning our buddy Jared up and throwing in a Torque Series rear diff. But for now, we're running the stock rear diffs, so we'll see how that holds up. Look at that gorgeous light. God, I can't believe how beautiful the day it is. Everything else is totally stock. Fox suspension is stock, all the arms, trailing arms. And with the 19s and 20s, they're an inch wider on each side. So you're 2 inches wider in track, and that bumps the tire out, and that allowed us to run the 34s with just floorboards. We have full steering, nothing rubs. You can see here the frickin' fender wells are in excellent shape after a whole season of 34s. So we got really, really lucky with that. We thought we were gonna have to run all different suspension in order to run those 34s, and we just bolted them on, cranked the preload up a little bit on the springs, and frickin' they were gold. So anyways, that's about it for the build, boys. She's a little bit more simple, I guess, than Big Blue, but she is a freaking blast to ride, like a handful. And we didn't even really have the tuning all the way figured out towards the end of the year. We got a new tune on. We're using a DynoJet Power Vision. Super easy, plugs into your diagnostics port under your seat. It's super easy to flash. It's super easy to make revisions. So we got some new tuning on her. We got the RPM limit raised to 8,800 from a stock 8,000. So now that's gonna allow us to run nitrous a lot better. We won't hit redline so quick. So yeah, if you're looking for a 19 and 20, definitely look into an ECU reflash from DynoJet or get a Power Vision, and then you can change a lot of stuff yourself if you know what you're doing. Or there's a few tuners out there that got maps available. You can just download it, throw it on, reflash your bike, and go. Couldn't be any simpler. I forgot to mention about the RJWC duals. We're running the full headers, like right from the motor backs, all RJWC, all TIG welded, beautiful welds. His attention to detail and the type of material he uses, that's why I've been using RJWC all these years. Like, he really does make great stuff. I've been happy with it all these years, so I'm happy to run it. It sounds great, it lasts great. This is his mud series. So if they do end up getting packed with mud, it's easy to take apart, clean out, repack. If it's starting to get a bit loud, which they all do after running a bunch of mud and water, they start to get full of crap, clean it all out, repack, and you're good to go, just like a brand new exhaust again. So, okay, overall, boys, that's the build. We gotta hop on this baby, maybe throw a drone in the air, and let's get a top speed on this sucker. Practice run, make sure we got enough heat in the motor. We got the bottle on. We'll do a little test, make sure it's purged, but I'll just do one practice hit and then we'll come back. boys. We've got enough. Engine's nice and warm, everything's nice and warm. Turn the nitrous on. Quickest way to check if your nitrous is purged. Solenoid on. Just give her a little squirt. It's working, boys. Okay. We're going to reset our CPS. Throw that in my pocket and let's see what we can do. I think we drained our nitrous. There wasn't very much left in that tank, so I think we got like half a hit. So, oh. Okay boys, can you see that? 81. So 81 kilometers an hour. So anyone with the guess 81, we're just gonna get that miles per hour. 81 kilometers per hour and miles per hour. 50. 50 miles per hour, you guess 50 or 80 kilometers, or 81 I mean. 81 kilometers an hour or 50. We're gonna go through all the comments. Whoever guessed those two guesses, if there's more than one, we'll put your name in a hat and we'll draw, and you get a full or a slip-on RJWC exhaust or a set of Neutrino LED lights plus a little gift pack from Ostacruiser and Mrs. Ostacruiser. So 50 miles per hour, boys. 81 kilometers an hour.
Yeah!
On half a hit of nitrous. So maybe, just maybe, we'll fill that nitrous bottle and do it. But for the contest, these are the numbers we're going to use. Another big limiting factor is we're on an XMR transmission, so it's lower geared in both low and high, so that's really holding us back. So I think a normal geared transmission, you'd be 55 miles an hour, I bet. So, but anyways, felt pretty freaking fast. So thanks a lot, guys. We'll go through the entries, pick out the winner, and we'll contact you. Thanks. Okay, easiest way to check if your nitrous is working, turn your solenoid on. Usually it's in neutral.